everything you've always wanted. Be not afraid of who you really are. You have it all right now within you, and that's the greatest part of all by far. And you can live in light and truth. A million suns that shine upon you, a million stars up there to break your fall. Let's tear the walls down that divide us and build a world that's good and fair for all. I pass it back to you. You pass it back to me. The time is here and now. This is the new year now. We all can live in light and truth. This is the new year, a new beginning. Let's make a promise. You are the brightest, we are the voices. This is the new year, we are the voices. This is the new year.
Yes, indeed, it is the new year. What a great way to start the morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of Tucson. Yes, here we go. We are a spiritual community. We are here to spread love. That's what I'm here to do anyway, to preach the love, to teach the love, to be the love, and I'm going to encourage each and every one of us to do exactly the same thing, which is their point and purpose of being alive. It's to be love, right? And let's celebrate that today. I'm going to offer up to you our vision statement here at Unity of Tucson. We envision a place of peace, beauty, and power where spiritual principles are taught and practiced within an ever-growing and dynamic congregation. Here are some beautiful faces of the people in our dynamic congregation so that you can see the love that there is that is out there. Here we go. My eyes are wide and open. My eyes can see. My mind is filled with knowing. My mind believes. I am awake. I am awake. Once you know where your freedom lies, you can't go back and close your eyes. The truth that cannot be denied. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. My heart is clear and growing. My heart can see. My soul is full of knowing. My soul believes. I am awake. I am awake. Once you know where your freedom lies, you can't go back and close your eyes. The truth that cannot be denied. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. My eyes are wide and open. My heart can see. My mind is filled with knowing. My soul believes. are the light, you are the light, you are the light. Once you know where your freedom lies, you can't go back and close your eyes. The truth that cannot be denied. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light. We got it, right?
Yeah,
yes, indeed. So yes, once again, good morning. Welcome to 2021, another beautiful Sunday morning on this beautiful first Sunday of the year. Oh, I am so deeply grateful that you have decided to spend your Sunday morning with us. We are a spiritual community here at Unity of Tucson. We are here to teach practical tools for a better life. That is the point and purpose of engaging a spiritual practice. It is to make life better. And one of the ways that I think that we can do this is to engage our 2021 theme. The theme for 2021 this year is, and I think it's a good one, especially coming out of 2020, the theme this year is emerge. We spent a lot of time in 2020, kind of in the cocoon, right? So I think it's time to spread our wings and flow forth and fly forth as we emerge into 2021. It is my belief that we can precipitate our own spiritual evolution, and that is what we are here to teach and do. Let's read together the words of our mission statement here at Unity of Tucson, and just invite you to not read them by rote, but get a sense of how these words land for you. What do they feel like as you read them out loud with me? Here we go. Within the principles of unity, we are a ministry of love, inspiration, learning, wholeness, acceptance, and joy that empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. And your nature, my nature, our nature is divine. That's the truth. These principles of new thought, I think, have been beautifully distilled down into the tenets that I carry with me, that I have borrowed from my mentor in ministry and carry with me and have guided me in the proliferation of my message. And they are these: love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And in remembering who we are, I know a truth about you. I know this truth about you. You are love, you are light, you are life, you are magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. So let's awaken to our magnificence here and now and evermore. I'm going to invite you to use the chat function in the video and wherever you're watching. Now, we've gone back to streaming on Facebook. I decided to take the chance. We're going to stream on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. And guess what? We are now streaming on our website as well. We have a player that now streams directly to our website. So you can choose to watch in any one of those three places. But reach out on the chat function wherever you are and let your spiritual family who are watching with you today know how magnificent you recognize them to be. Utilize your own words to reach out and say hello. And I want to reach out and say hello to everyone who is here present in the room, who are here to support this virtual service. I want to say hello to the board members, know that you are magnificent, grateful to have you here, and a spouse of a board member as well, grateful to have you here. I want to say hello to our magnificent technical team back there and let you know that I see you. You are magnificent. Deeply grateful for each of you. Wynell, you are magnificent, and I'm grateful that you are here to help out today. And of course, this beautiful band. Absolute magnificence. As those words of magnificence, those words of affirmation, those words of love proliferate on the chat, in your own time, I'll invite you to find your way to a relaxed and comfortable position as we take some opportunity for contemplation in the quiet. If it's safe and comfortable for you, and you'd like to close your eyes, I like to close my eyes, or let them fall to a soft, unfocused gaze, allowing ourselves to turn our attention to the inner life. The inner life and the activity of the inner life becomes the expression of the outer life. So as we place our focused attention on the inner life, I am rooted in faith that all is well, and flowing forth easefully. As we've entered a new month, we have a new affirmation for this month, which I will share. Just as I read it out loud, allow yourself to see how you feel. I am rooted in, flowing, and growing in life of purpose. I am rooted in, flowing, and growing in a life of purpose. Gently allow yourself to feel what you feel. Allow yourself the luxury of expanding your mind's awareness to a greater truth. A greater truth rooted in, flowing, and growing in a life of purpose. For we are, each and every one of us, here on purpose, with purpose, whether we have an active awareness of it or not. We matter. We are magnificent. Forgive everything. Remember who you are. Love only. Forgive everything. Remember who you are. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. I choose to do it now. To live within that infinite, ever-present unfoldment, and to know that that is the root of all that is. There is absolutely no separation. There is only one infinite power and presence. There is one creative energy. There is one source. There is one consciousness. There is God only. And while we use many, many words to describe it, it is beyond words. It is ineffable. It is a feeling at the core of each and every one of us. So as I relax into this here and now moment, I tap into that feeling and trust and know that we, each and every one of us, do so, deepening our recognition of this goodness, of this light, and of this love, of this wholeness from which each and every one of us has sprung forth into experience. Our identity is divine, and I live this truth and allow this truth, and I recognize the magnificent face of God in every person I encounter. I welcome the perfect outflow of this creative spirit as my life. And I do so with an infinitely grateful heart and trust and know that each and every one of us lives from that point of view of gratitude, knowing that gratitude fuels the infinite creative engine. All we need do is simply relax, let go, trust, and know. I know this word spoken is complete and returns in experience fully formed. For the word can never return void. I know it to be so, and I let it be so, easily and effortlessly, right here, right now. And so it is. Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. I'm going to invite Wynell to join me on stage. Wynell is one of our keepers of the flames. Grateful for you. Grateful for you being here today. We light the flames of faith every single week in this ritual, rooted in the understanding that for every faith tradition there is, every one of them is rooted in the divine golden thread of love. And as I've been trying to mix it up and, bring new things and new ideas and new thoughts and concepts around how we honor these traditions, it seemed very appropriate, since the theme for January is purpose, that I would look once again at the purpose statements within each and every one of these traditions. So that's what we're going to do here today. So let us take to heart that for each candle that we light, it is an honoring of the tradition, and all paths are right. So we light a candle for the Tao, which teaches that the purpose of life is inner harmony, peace, and longevity. And this is achieved by living in accordance with the Tao. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, which teaches that through a close relationship with the natural world, one gains guidance, support, and wisdom to live their best life. We light a candle for Hinduism, which teaches that we are able to escape bondage, ignorance, and a state of illusion through multiple experiences of life, and each life leads us closer to enlightenment. We light a candle for Judaism, which teaches the highest calling is to obey the commandments of God and to live ethically according to law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, which teaches the purpose of life is to avoid suffering and gain enlightenment. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, which teaches salvation from sin through faith in Christ, through sacraments, and through good works. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, which teaches that through submission to the will of God, one will gain paradise. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, which teaches that the soul is eternal and essentially good, and that the purpose of life is to develop spiritually and draw closer to God. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, which teaches the divinity of all creation and the supremacy of thought over matter. And through a law of cause and effect, one can recreate the circumstances of their life. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And this final candle we light is the healing candle. It represents the healing of any circumstance which requires the revelation of divinity, the God essence. For that is the true nature of healing, the revelation of God at the core of all experience. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. The candle on your left, of course, is our peace candle. We keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with the understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we acknowledge and honor the peace in our hearts and live from the point of view of peace in our hearts, it expands out just like the light of this candle expands out, and we create a peaceful world for everyone. So let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. The featured song today is a song from one of my favorite artists of all time, from one of the greatest albums ever written of all time. We were talking a lot about it this morning. And so I'm going to out you a little bit, Joshua. We were talking to Joshua. I said, do you know this album? And he said no. But then we started telling him all the songs that were on the album. He's like, oh, I know all those songs. I'm like, you actually know the album. So that's all I'm going to tell you. Let's do it. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday wind blowing, I've got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't seem to show it. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. And people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, maybe love can end the madness, maybe not, oh, but we can only try. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. The people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful as you feel. Linda Ackerman, Joshua Carruthers, Raphael Carruthers, thank you so much. Whew, so that song, of course, is by Carole King from the album Tapestry. Like I said, one of the greatest albums ever. I have listened to that album the majority of my life. Oh, you've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. And now I'm going to contradict one of the lyrics. Because I don't think it should be a directive. I think we should look at this perhaps as an acceptance. And maybe we change the lyric to say, we get up every morning with a smile on our face and show the world all the love in our hearts, right? We get to do that. We get to decide who we're going to be in any given moment. We get to wake up and say, hello, baby, brand new day, brand new baby day. In what way can I express and be more loving today? What if we get to get up every morning with love in our hearts? Well, we do get to decide that. We get to decide. You know, this song has a fundamental premise. When we make decisions about how we see the world, when we make decisions about how we see the world, about our relationship to the world, then we will not only experience the world differently, the world will experience us differently. When we make decisions about how we see the world and about our relationship to the world, we will not only experience the world differently, the world will experience us differently. It's the whole point and purpose of New Thought. To say, I have a mind, I can utilize it by understanding that my mind is that connection to the infinite consciousness and that it is the conduit and use of consciousness as my life. I can change my life for the better. Right? That's the point and purpose of spiritual practice. If your spiritual practice is not making your life better, well, don't let go of the spiritual practice. You might need to change it up. You may need to find something that works. But spiritual practice is here to support us through the experience of life. So if your spiritual practice is not quite working out for you, find something that does. Find a spiritual practice that does. Now, I've already talked this year about our theme. The theme for the year is emerge, right? Emerge. And not only is it about emerging from the cocoon of 2020 into 2021 and spreading our wings and allowing ourselves to fly forth with the inherent beauty that was always there, it is a call to each and every one of us as well to up our game. To up our game, right? It is about emerging from a perception of challenge. And I want to be very clear. Any challenges we think we faced in the past were only perceptions. Underlying challenge is the decision that whatever we are experiencing is a challenge. That's a conscious idea. And if we decide that it is going to be a challenge, then we live the experience of challenge. If we decide it is fundamentally going to be something else, then we will live the something else. And it's all rooted in this here and now moment. It is a call to each and every one of us right here, right now, to expand upon our practice more resolutely. If we are to emerge truly, then we must be resolved in the expansion of our practice. Now, it is traditional at the turn of a new year to set resolutions for ourselves, right? At least that has been a tradition for many people. I choose not to necessarily set resolutions only at the beginning of the year. I choose to allow myself to live resolutely at all points throughout the year with the understanding that if I'm living resolutely from the point of view of love, then I don't need to make resolutions, because a resolved heart full of love and expressing from love means that life is unfolding magnificently no matter what. But I will ask you this, because many of you may have made resolutions. What are you resolving here, now, today, right in this moment? What are you resolving right here, right now, today, here in this moment? And have you decided that it requires the turn of a year to have made that resolution? Why didn't you make it a week ago? Why didn't we make it a month ago? If there's something that you are looking to change in your life, now is the moment, not waiting for some arbitrary There's a word I'm looking for. Not waiting for some arbitrary measure of time. Measurement is the word I was looking for. Not looking for some arbitrary measure of time. Allow yourself to take charge of your life in this here and now moment, because guess what? This is it. This is it right now. The past is done. The future, who knows? Right now is the moment. And each and every one of us, irrespective of whether we are aware of it or not, is in the middle of outpicturing our resolutions right here and right now. Now, these resolutions typically are the result of a habitual state of mind. I mean, the truth is, we are always living from a resolved mind, whether we're aware of it or not. And many of us are living lives unaware of those resolutions that are at the core of our belief system. Some of these resolutions are things like this. You ready? Life is hard. You only succeed when you work hard. I know a lot of people who live with that resolution, and so guess what happens? That's the way their life shows up. One of my favorite resolutions that I have eliminated from my core belief system is, I never get the breaks. Why should I try? It's never going to work. You can't trust anyone. Things never seem to work out for me. You get the picture? Many people are living their lives from belief systems that are resolved into those types of statements, and that becomes the expression of their life. Earlier and frequently, I've been talking a lot about turning that attention to the inner life. As a spiritual practice, turning that attention to the inner life, because the inner life is the point of cause for all the effects of our outer life. And so the practice fundamentally is addressing that which is our inner life. And when we recognize some of those core beliefs as they come up, our work then is to shift them. Many people are rooted in negative resolve and don't necessarily even realize that they are. And there is a path out of those places of habitual thinking. Because that's what belief is. Belief is actually habitual thinking, and our thoughts create our experience. Now, if you are willing to do the work, and I trust everybody who is connected with this spiritual community, I trust everybody is willing to do the work. Otherwise, why are you here? To hear a few good songs, perhaps? That's lovely. But I am here to say we must be willing to do the work, because willingness is where change begins. Willingness to set the intention to live in faith for a more magnificent outcome in the expression and experience of life. Setting intentions. So we did this Labyrinth event on New Year's Eve. I got here and, was just made it available for people to come. We did set it up so that, we only had limited number of people at any given half hour. And people came and they got their piece of special dissolving paper, and they were to write out whatever that is they wanted to release, and then walk the labyrinth, put it in the bowl, all of this stuff. Anyway, the dissolving bowl event, which I love to do every year. And I choose to do a dissolving bowl in the desert rather than a burning bowl, because that just seems infinitely safer to me. So we do a dissolving bowl, and they write on their special piece of paper whatever it is they would like to release. Many people were actually surprised, openly surprised, when I would say, write out whatever it is you would like to release, but also write out whatever it is you would like to intend as you move forward. They were like, what? And I'm going to put that I'm going to dissolve what I want to intend. And I said, here's the point of that. To release these ideas, these intentions to their perfect outcome without having to get in the way and trying to manipulate that which we would like to experience. Because that's what a lot of us do in our resolve. We decide we're going to do something, and then we get very involved in the how, rather than allowing ourselves to be led divinely into the how, which is the point and purpose of God. It's about purpose. It is about purpose and bringing purpose to our practice. What I really wanted to talk about in the title of today's message is this: prayerful purpose. Prayerful purpose. When we truly set the intention, when we decide on our purpose, when we illuminate our minds to our purpose, then it is a prayerful experience and activity that we allow to unfold. To activate the willingness to set the resolve in a new direction and embody the change we seek, that is prayerful purpose. To activate the willingness to set the resolve in a new direction and embody the change we seek. So this came up based on last week's discussion following the service on Zoom. You know, each week, except I do have to tell you this week, we have a special board meeting that's been called, so there's not going to be a Zoom meeting today. But typically each week, a few of us gather on Zoom, and I'm there, and we have a discussion. And last week we had the discussion around prayer. And it became this big discussion around the differences between the form of prayer that is taught within Unity and the form of prayer that is taught within religious science. Both of them new thought traditions, both of them fundamentally teaching the same thing. The form has some slight differences, and I'm not going to get into the differences here and now because first and foremost, this is what's important to understand about prayer. Prayer is effective when it is affirmative and intentional. Irrespective of how you get to that place, when it is affirmative and intentional, it is effective. So except for semantics, they're essentially the same. Each is rooted in 5 steps. And the steps are there to develop a technique to bring us to that place of affirmative and intentional use of mind. Now, once we have mastered the steps of prayer, well then, we can live in a space of trust, right? If we have mastered the steps of prayer, we can trust. And, you know, I have found that even if I don't, in my expression and speaking out loud of the prayer, hit all 5 steps, they are so rooted within me that they are part of my beingness. And so that is the point of practice, to so embody and master affirmative prayer and spiritual practice that we don't have to think about it anymore. It just becomes the natural construct and outflow of our experience of life. So once mastered, we can trust, and trust becomes a life of prayerful purpose. And what we realize within that is that once we have mastered the technique and we let the technique go, what we find is that we are actually living embodiments of prayer at all times. And prayer becomes reflected in every word we speak. Another discussion I was having with the band before the service was around one of the things that I did 2 years ago. I can't really pull my sleeve up right now. But 2 years ago, Tucson New Thought was meeting in a tattoo shop. We were getting to be known as the tattoo ministry, the tattoo church. But I decided to get a tattoo 2 years ago. It happened on December 30th or December 31st of 2018, and it's right on the inside of, I can't really pull up my sleeve, but it's right on the inside of my arm, and on the inside it says, "And so it is." Now, I've talked in the past about the meaning of "and so it is," which is basically a translation of amen. And we could just as easily say abracadabra, which essentially means my word creates my experience. That's all that it means. But the reason that I decided to get "and so it is" tattooed on the inside of my arm, where when I have short sleeves, which is most of the time in Arizona, I see it all the time. And it is a reminder to me that every word I speak is prayer and shows up in expression in my life. My word is my bond. That is living a life of prayerful purpose. Now, I'm not telling everyone to go out and get a tattoo. But that has been a practice for me to deepen into the embodiment. The steps of prayer, whether it's the Unity way it's taught or the religious science way it's taught, the funny thing is the 5 steps basically match each other. We use different titles for what they are, but they basically match each other. Basically, what it comes down to is that they are there to help us accept the truth of being, to know the truth of being as all there is, accept it as our own innate truth, and from that point of view of that truth, that is who we are, we speak with divine authority and recognize the blessings, living in gratitude, and to let go of the attachments to what it should look like, and trust in faith that what we pray on from that point of view of divine authority shows up in exact accordance with our desire. That's the whole point and purpose of prayer. So today, I am inviting each and every one of us to deepen a little bit more, to welcome a life of prayerful purpose. I'm inviting each and every one of us to get up every morning with a smile on our face and show the world all the love in our heart. That is truly a life of prayerful purpose. Namaste. As the band makes their way back up, I'm going to let you know the homework today. It is this. Each day this week, I would like you to do this. Upon waking, I would like you to take stock in that moment of how you feel. When you wake up, take stock in that moment of how you feel. Now, some people sometimes wake up and they say, I got up on the other side of the bed today, right? Take stock of how you feel. Determine if you would like to allow that feeling to continue or if you would like to experience another feeling. And then make the decision in that moment. Root it in the affirmative prayer in that moment that flows forth from the understanding that you are the infinite power and presence of divine authority. That is who you are. You speak your word, give over to gratitude, and allow the pure, perfect unfoldment. Engage your mind and activate that decision. I'm going to invite you now to reflect on any kernel of truth that has resonated in your heart and soul here today. An idea that you get to walk away with, let it be fully present in your heart right now.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender. Let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
Right here in this moment, I live in the assured knowledge, and I am resolute in my understanding that there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one source of all creation, the infinite creative spirit. There is only consciousness. There is only God. Nothing else exists. And so I understand from that point of view that everything in the world of perception, everything I see, everything I experience, it is all the outflow of divine creative source. And the core identity of all of it is God. And so my core identity is God. Our core identity is God. God is all there is. So everything that exists is God. I am resolved in the here and now moment to allow the most magnificent unfoldment of joy, of harmony, of peace, of beauty, of kindness. I allow these things to unfold as the pure, perfect expression of life for myself. And I trust and know that this is so for each and every one of us, for we have intended it here and now. And in this place of resolution, I trust that it flows forth easefully and gracefully. I do this with divine authority at the core, for I know who I am. I love only. I forgive everything. I remember who I am. And in doing so, I remember who each and every one of us is. And I live in faith that we all remember who we are. And it is with a magnificently grateful heart that I allow it to be. As I relax, release, let go, allow, and trust. And so it is. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Now and evermore. Thank you so much. And so, with a heart full of gratitude, I'm going to invite us to now engage in the activity of increasing and enhancing that gratitude through giving. As we give to this center, as we support this church financially, it allows us to see our vision and mission through, to its ultimate fulfillment. And it is ultimately being fulfilled at all times by our living the principles. And so I encourage you and invite you to give of your heart and allow yourself to support what we are doing here. There are many ways to give. You can give on our website. There is a donate link on our homepage at unitytucson.com. You can use debit or credit cards there. You can also phone the office between 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday and utilize a debit or credit card, giving it to us over the phone. We will be happy to process that for you. You can also send in a check. And all of those ways are on the screen in front of you, I assume. And it's funny because I never see the actual program screen, so I'm assuming it's all there. I trust. Let's read together the divine givingness statement as an affirmation of our faith and the reason why we are giving of ourselves in this way that supports Unity of Tucson. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, knowing that it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless, and returns to me multiplied abundantly. I thankfully acknowledge God as my source. While you're giving, you can move the body. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I I give to myself. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you. So a couple of things to know about today. I already mentioned earlier that there is not going to be a virtual gathering today because we have called a special board meeting, so I'll be meeting with the board following. So I'm sorry if you were intending to be with me on Zoom. We'll do it next week, I promise. Some opportunities for deepening and engaging your spiritual practice are coming up, and so I want to encourage you to go to our website, unitytucson.com, and look under the Classes and Workshops tab that has been added there this past week. Karen King is going to be leading a couple of workshops and some book study in the work of Joe Dispenza that you can sign up for, so check that out. Also, beginning January 18th, I've already had one person sign up. I'm super excited. I'm taking the first 10 people who have a willingness to work with me for 16 weeks. Now, people go, oh, 16 weeks, that's such a long time. It actually flies by when you're engaged in the practice. For a program, it's James Mellon's Mental Muscle. James Mellon was my mentor in ministry, so I want to make sure that it's very clear that this is his program that I am adopting. I worked with James in the development of this program for many, many years. So Mental Muscle is 16 weeks of spiritual boot camp, we call it. You work with me through Zoom, 7:30 a.m. for an hour every Monday and Thursday. It's a great way to start your day, because then people go, 16 weeks and 7:30 in the morning? It's a great way to start your day. I give you a directive on Monday. As you live out that directive, we do a check-in on Thursday, and each week you get a brand new directive for those 16 weeks, and I'm telling you, it is a transformative experience. So I'm going to encourage you and invite you. There are only 10 slots available because everyone is a participant in this, and so for that hour, I can only I can only handle 10 people at a time, so I encourage you to check that out. Also, we have a new Artist of the Month in our virtual gallery online at unitytucson.com. This month, we're featuring the photographs of a brand new member here at Unity of Tucson, Elaine McDonald, who came to us from Colorado. Elaine wrote this. She said, "Looking at the world with a photographer's eye makes me slow down and focus my awareness on things that other people may not even notice as they casually scan the scene around them. My photography includes a wide variety of subjects, including travel scenes, landscapes, flowers, animals, old cars, interesting doors and windows, and abstracts. In this gallery, you will see just a sampling." Her work, of course, is for sale, and she pledges to give 10% back to any sales that she makes in selling her photography on our gallery. So please do check that out. I love that we have this online gallery while we're virtual, because we have our gallery in the lobby, and it's just not as easy when people are not here. So we thought, hey, we can put things online. We have a new member orientation happening on January 17th following the service. That will be on Zoom as well. If you are interested in becoming a registered member of Unity of Tucson, reach out to me. I will send you the link for that, and we'll go through all of what that means. You can send an email to revjonathan@unitytucson.com. I realize I should have put up a lower third for that as I look back at my tech crew, and I did not put that up. So I'll have that up as a graphic next week. Also, save the date for our annual meeting, which will be on February 21st, 2021. That as well will be a virtual annual meeting. We'll work out all of the details for that, but do please save the date. That will follow our Sunday celebration that day as well. There is still time as well to write your letter to your God self. There's a link on our homepage at unitytucson.com, so go there, write that letter to yourself, and it will automatically be emailed back to you on July 15th. We are now streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, and on our website as well at unitytucson.com. So I just wanted to reiterate that and let you know that there are many ways that you can engage with us. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today's experience possible. I want to say thank you, of course, to our technical crew, Wally, Don, Aiden, for your magnificent work and support, because without you, it would be me singing to an empty room, right? I want to say thank you to Wynell for supporting today, your consciousness and your awareness and your magnificence that you share with the world just in general, but also helping with lighting the candles today. Thank you. I want to say thank you to the entire board of directors here who are, they're like, can we end the service so we can get to this meeting? They're actually not doing that. But grateful to you for your magnificent support. It warms my heart. And of course, I want to say thank you to this beautiful band, Linda, Joshua, Raphael. So grateful that you share your magnificence with each and every one of us. So I also want to say thank you to you for being here, letting your presence be known, and for sharing and allowing your beautiful, beautiful selves to simply make your mark on this world. And you do, just by being you. Thank you so much.
I think that Karen wants to say some words.
Oh, okay. Oh. Thank you.
We understand you have a birthday. And
I do have a birthday, yes.
have been so blessed by your presence here at Unity of Tucson. The board is so grateful. We wish to give you a special blessing. And of course, we would love everyone who has a birthday in January to receive the same blessing.
Yes.
So, Linda.
To you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jonathan. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. So, there's a candle happening in this pie. And you knew that I prefer pie over cake. There are people that squeal.
Last time you got a check, this time you got a pie. It's the same.
It is the same love. The thing is, I don't want to blow on that if we're going to share that. Are we sharing this?
You can take that home and
Okay,
share
because
that at
I don't want to
home.
blow on it with everything. All right, thank you so much.
And we would like to give you a unity blessing as well.
Okay.
We rub our hands together, we energize them, we get the flow of love and energy, and we love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ in you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Well, there we are. As we complete our time here, let's share together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. Well, it's an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one. Been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I. The future of history is crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear. better. You and I, we breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better. You and I breathe the same air. We breathe the same air. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.